Hi, this is Jason from Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains, and today we're going to talk about just another pile that I have in terms of reading material from the Dollar Bin stuff that I got. And so we got a lot of different things. We got a lot of DC books here, mostly. Yeah, mostly DC here. But I want to show, even though it's a mix. So we got the Power Company Skyrocket, which is something I've never had heard really much about. But Kurt Busiek wrote it, who he had done, most known for Astro City, and he also did Untold Tales of Spider-Man. So this is him introducing some new DC characters. So this is fun. I have to put it over here so I don't forget where I read. Then we have a bunch of the Convergence crossovers, and so we have Convergence, Superboy, and the Legion of Superheroes. That's supposed to be the Superboy. Oh, sorry, that's number 2. So number 1 is here, and number 2 is here, and this is by this is the Superboy. That is the pre-crisis Superboy before 1986, who had joined the Legion of Superheroes. And so these converted titles were a lot of fun for me. I know that, and they were better because they were right before the New 52, and but they celebrate the 80 years of history at the time of DC Comics or whatever it was. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I also thought it was a clever way of bringing all those characters and sort of letting them have the continuity of the past, and then we can move on and move into the new characters. But New 52 was like, I didn't like the idea of the New 52 being, well, 5 years have passed, but, 5 years that don't really reflect what was in the continuity before, kind of whatever continuity we mashed up from whatever we liked from those 80 years of past history. I never liked that. I'm glad New 52 was rebooted back to Rebirth. But here we go with Convergence, Superboy. And another one series was Adventures of Superman. So as many of you know, Superman became... It's kind of ironic because Superman became the title Adventures of Superman post-Crisis, not before Crisis. So, but whatever, it doesn't matter. The whole point is that this is pre 19. This is Silver Age, Bronze Age Superman, and this is Supergirl who died in the Crisis on Infinity Earths. This is a pure awesome book. It was a lot of fun, and seeing her Supergirl's heroism. In this book, she actually knows that the crisis is going to happen, and realizes that even though here's this opportunity, I need to sacrifice myself for everybody. And Marv Wolfman, of course, wrote this, which makes sense because he did the Crisis on Infinity Earths. It's just an excellent, excellent Supergirl comic. Now, this is Supergirl Matrix, meaning we're referring to the Supergirl from the 90s, who, let's see how fast we can explain this. She was from a parallel universe where the Phantom Zone villains of that universe had destroyed the Earth, and Lex Luthor created a protoplasmic super being called Supergirl who had different powers than Superman, like telekinesis and other powers, but was a shapeshifter, and thought she was Lana Lang, not Lois Lane, Lana Lang, and then sent to our Earth to find Superman, and then for a time thought she was Superman, and then finally settled on becoming Supergirl, and then later, thankfully they don't even get into this storyline, but later she merges her soul with another girl named Linda Danvers to become an Earthborn angel. I know that's complicated, but Supergirl, that character, was well written for many years, whether it was by Peter David and drawn by Leonard Kirk, whether it was her part of the Superman Triangle era. And this Lex Luthor is actually Lex Luthor Jr., who is a clone of Lex Luthor pretending to be Lex Luthor Jr. Follow me so far? It's fun. It's still cool, and better than a lot of Supergirl. Also, she had a classic outfit too, so kind of cool. Then we still have some more comics here, so maybe I'll just do I'll just still do the mix. Let's do the Marvel first, actually, quickly. So we got an Amazing Spider-Man that's more recent, and so that's kind of cool. That was able to be something I could find, and this has the Hobgoblin in it, and drawn by John Romita Jr. And this issue is New Warriors number 25, and it has a die-cut cover. So it kind of goes like this, like kind of cool. I read this issue. Mark Bagley, who drew Ultimate Spider-Man and did a lot of Amazing Spider-Man, drew this issue. It is a ton of fun. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Kind of funny how it just breaks up the video from just being simply DC Comics. Adventures of the DC Universe is a comic book that was kind of based on the animated adventures of Superman and Batman so it comes out around the same time as Superman the animated series did. But before the Justice League animated cartoon, so it was your first look at other heroes and how they might have been in the animated style. However, the continuity is more closer to the DC continuity than the animated universe. Is it canon? Go find out on YouTube. Catwoman is drawn as Catwoman is in the 90s before the Batman reboot. But the Flash is Wally West. These still were excellent stories, and really you didn't need to understand continuity. I mean, when Kitty ever doesn't understand DC continuity, but still excellent stories. And then finally we got another story that's not canon. We got Meet this Project Superpowers, which is from Dynamite, and this is Samson. Whether he's the biblical Samson or just thinks he's the biblical Samson, I cannot tell just from reading this single issue, but Alex Ross, who did Kingdom Come, helped reboot dust off some old Golden Age heroes, and this is an issue where Samson fights the evil god Dagon, which is from the Bible, but as a fish monster in this one. And I thought it was a really cool book, and it was kind of neat. I like it. And then we have Dr. Fate here, which is a female Dr. Fate, and written by J.M. DeMatteis. But this is a pretty interesting issue. It starred the Justice League International. And then we got an issue of The Young Justice from the late 90s by Chuck Dixon and Todd Nayuk, which was more Superboy, Robin, and Impulse was the three characters on that team, the main characters, and then Wonder Girl later. This was a lot of fun. It was very different than what Teen Titans had been because I don't know, it just was fun. It was just a lot of fun. Just a lot like kids hanging out in their own headquarters, like a kids club. And then an issue from a later version of Young Justice from the about 2000s, past the 2000s, we got 2021. And this one it focuses on Wonder Girl and her heritage being with the Greek gods. And actually, this is pretty good. It's written by Bendis. I enjoyed it. And then finally, War of the Gods. I really enjoyed this issue. It was chock full of different adventures. War of the Gods was an event series focused on Wonder Woman and the Greek and Roman gods fighting each other. And this was the miniseries that was the main event of it. And lots of stuff is going on here that I would want to read all the other tie-ins and stories. It was really interesting, and also they also had a backstory for Shazam, the wizard Shazam, that he meets King Solomon from the Bible for real, and that was really cool. And they showed that. Really, it was a lot of fun and worth checking out. And I think that Wonder Woman from that early post-crisis era is something that I haven't read a lot of, but I've heard a lot of great things of because of what George Perez did. That's it for today. Keep being sweaty and getting comics in the dollar bin.